Yes, somewhere Donald Ross is smiling. And not just because the crown jewel of his prominent portfolio has been restored to relevance, and not just because the two-time Masters champion and notable golf historian Ben Crenshaw was a part of the project, but I have a feeling somewhere Donald Ross is smiling because of the opportunity afforded to Ben Crenshaw's architectural partner of 28 years and North Carolina native, Bill Coore, was involved.
Bill Coore and Ben Crenshaw have built 28 courses in their 26 years of being partners in the architectural firm known as Coore and Crenshaw. Everyone knows two-time Masters champion Ben Crenshaw, but no one knows Bill Coore, who, according to Mike Kaiser, owner of Bandon Dunes, will go down as the most prominent golf architect of the modern era. An only child of a single mom who worked 2 jobs to provide for her small family, young William had a lot of time to be a kid in the sticks of North Carolina. From the mailbox to the only neighbor's backyard, Coore was designing golf holes long before he paid for a green fee.
Well, this is the 9-hole course that I truly grew up playing on. The first shot I ever hit on a golf course was off that tee down there, and it, much to my amazement, went in the air and went down the fairway. And to my neighbor Donald's amazement, he was literally almost rendered speechless. He was expecting this, and I was too. It's just going to be a dribble, and I'm going like, whoa. He probably was too. It wasn't like I sat around and dreamed of becoming a golf course designer. My mother would come home from work and I'd say, I am going to be a nuclear scientist. I am going to be an astronaut. And to her great credit, she never said, that's not going to happen. You know, she gave me a birthright that I could only wish for every human born on this earth. And it wasn't a birthright of wealth or privilege or social status, not at all. None of those things. It was simply the encouragement to have a dream. Oh, Matt, we're at what I always thought of as Lexington Country Club in North Carolina, Davidson County. Donald Jarrett, my closest neighbor growing up, he would bring me over here. He loved this little golf course. It's where I got probably my first lesson in golf architecture, which I didn't realize at the time. It was a little short pitch shot, par 3, steeply downhill to a tiny green that was on a peninsula. And invariably, I would stand up here and try to hit my pitch shot down there on the green and bound over and down into the creek. Mr. Jarrett, meanwhile, would play against a big steep hill, and it would invariably hit the incline and sort of bumble down the hill on the green. This happened time after time, until one day he looked at me and he goes, William, why do you continue to play this hole the way you do? He said, play against the hillside over here. And I remember standing there, Matt, going, well, that's not the way you're supposed to play golf. Matt, he stood there and he goes, golf is not a game of what you're supposed to do. It's a game of what you do. Later, while I was in the Army, that's when I met Stuart Kennedy, who, my friend from Thomasville, had been a member of Pinehurst for years, so I played a lot of golf with Stuart at Pinehurst.
Number 2 was special to us. We knew we were playing a Donald Ross golf course.
We would actually pay $5 to play golf for a day pass. I can remember playing 54 holes of golf on Pinehurst number 2 in one day. That's when I saw a golf course that Pete Dye was doing. Oh man, this is fantastic. This is amazing. I wonder how you do this. A guy working on the maintenance shop ended up giving me Pete's phone number.
He was working out in the plant. And I said, my job here is partly getting good men. And I would like to have you come up with the company. And he said, no, I'm going to learn how to build golf courses.
I must say it was about a year, maybe a little longer, before it happened. And then when Pete started the Cardinal, and I went out there to work.
So Coore was fulfilling his dream. From digging ditches for Pete Dye to cultivating a team of his own, he was getting some small assignments as an independent architect. But in the mid-'80s, and in order to grow his budding business, he was being asked to team up with a tour pro.
About the probably fifth or sixth time I'd been asked was a developer in Houston. And I remember the guy telling me, he said, Bill, I would hire you. I've seen your work. If you came in tomorrow with Tom Watson, Lee Trevino on your arm, I will hire you. And I said, that's not going to happen. And he said, well, if you could pick anybody, who would it be? Probably Ben Crenshaw, but I don't know him. He looks at me and he says, oh my God, Bill. He said, I know Ben. I've known him since he was a little boy. He said, he's as romantic and naive as you are. He said, together, the two of you would be a disaster.
Although romantic when it comes to talking about the spirit of the game and their projects, Coore and Crenshaw have hardly been a disaster.
I am so happy and proud I'm with him.
The best way I know how to describe Ben Crenshaw is simply say, look at our company name. Tell me one other major championship winner with an unknown golf course architect who would form a partnership and call it by the other guy's name first. It didn't happen. It wouldn't happen. So
he has every right to be up first. I follow Bill. I gladly follow Bill.
He says this so often that I think it sometimes doesn't sound real, but he really feels like he finds golf holes. And so I love that.
He has, I think, a unique connection with the ground.
He and Ben can talk about little mounds and rivulets and movements as if they were people. I said, well, what, you think we should move her? You think we should build him up a little bit?
So the dreamer from Thomasville has made good, and we know that passion, talent, and hard work can lead to extraordinary opportunity, which is the only way to describe Coore and Crenshaw's call to restore the golf mecca of Coore's youth and host of back-to-back U.S. Opens at Pinehurst No. 2.
I'm just so happy for Bill. When we were asked by Pinehurst, so what would you do with it? You know, we just looked at each other and we said, God, I can't believe we're contemplating this.
I think that Bill and Ben as a twosome are the best architects in golf today.